And thank you so much for going through that for us, our SAA Matiniso. Want to thank you so much for that. And if you are joining us from wherever, I want to just request, please put in the chat, where are you joining us from? Is it Gaborone? Is it outside of Gaborone? We always excited whenever we have guests, so people joining us. So just let us know where you are joining us from, and want to just say welcome to our meeting for Gaborone Toastmasters for the 2nd of September. And this particular month, we call it the Level Up Month, because we're going to be having weekly meetings every Tuesday, because we want to make sure that our members level up by completing one level. So if they're in level 1, they finish that. If they're in level 2, you complete that. So that's why we call it the Level Up Month. And our meeting theme for today is apologies, I've gotten out of my agenda.
It's
It's
a
not a
marathon.
marathon. It's a
Mm.
it's a marathon, not a race. And I thought that was a very interesting meeting theme by our VPE. And I'm sure for all the people who love to run, you have experienced that grueling training that goes into for you to be able to achieve that. And I'm excited that our Toastmaster of the day, who will be taking us through and sharing more about our theme for the meeting, will give us more information about that. And our Toastmaster of the day is none other than our club vice president of public relations. So if you saw any poster, whether it was on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram, this was created by our Toastmaster of the day, and it's none other than Tumelo Maphalala, who is a biologist by profession and is currently employed by a pharmaceutical manufacturing company in Toastmasters. Like I said, she's our current vice president, public relation, and she is our immediate past president. So she was sitting in this position that I'm in this time around, and as well as our current area director for Botswana. So she oversees 5 clubs here in Botswana. And Tumelo is passionate about leadership, communication, and personal growth. And outside of work, she enjoys reading and engaging in meaningful conversations. Please help me welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Tumelo Maphalala.
Good evening, fellow Gaborone Toastmasters, visiting Toastmasters, and guests. It gives me great pleasure to be your host tonight as what we call the Toastmaster of the Day, which is just a fancy way of saying the MC, or the Motsamaisa Tiro, as we say in Setswana. You might think, but we saw you last week. Weren't you Toastmaster of the Day last week? Well, I was. And hate to burst your bubble. I love it here. And it's a great opportunity for me to continue to practice my public speaking and subsequently my leadership skills. There's so many things that I love about Toastmasters, and let's not waste any time and get started with the first. Our first item on the agenda tonight is the toast. The toast is a Toastmasters tradition, which I was just sharing this past weekend, that how Toastmasters started was Ralph Smedley, Ralph C. Smedley, hosted. He was a psychologist who hosted some meetings for some young men where they would have dinner and share toasts. So the toast is a staple here at Toastmasters. I've prepared a short little toast for us tonight. So grab your drink. It's getting warmer, so I have my juice. Grab your tea, your coffee, or any beverage, and or anything that could pass as something you'd show the cheer with, and follow me in cheering to our meeting tonight that's themed "It's a marathon, not a race." Indeed, the theme is in this line. Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, life often asks us to give our best, not in quick sprints, but in steady strides. Just like a marathon, our journeys in leadership, growth, and even personal discovery require endurance, patience, and resilience. Tonight, as we gather under the theme, "It's a marathon, not a race," Let us remember that true success is not measured by how fast we arrive, but by the lessons, the stamina, and the persistence we carry along the way. Here's to pacing ourselves, supporting one another, and finishing strong together. Cheers! Ha ha ha! I did say one of my favorite traditions. I hope you cheersed to that. Thank you, and let's move right along. I am not alone. As the captain of this ship, I have many assistants who will help me deliver a well-rounded meeting for you tonight. Here at Toastmasters, we divide ourselves against with roles or pair roles that help us improve our public speaking. I hope my role players today will do justice to introducing their roles. Pardon me, I'm rambling. To introducing their roles, telling you what they're about and what their role will do in today's meeting, and probably inspire any one of you to either join if you haven't, or if you're already a member, to take up this role in future. My first role player is our timekeeper. Our timekeeper tonight is Leah Musunga. Leah Musunga, please come to the stage. Tell us about this role and tell us why you took it and inspire the next person. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. And as you stated, I am the timer for our meeting today because we always say in Toastmasters, we want to start on time and we want to end on time. And that's only possible if we are monitoring everything that is happening on during the meeting. And I think I would also request, I don't know if our SAA can share the agenda in the chat so people can follow along in terms of what will be happening. So in terms of our speakers today, so these are our prepared speakers. People have had a chance to spend a little bit of time preparing their speeches. They have a specific time frame that they have to present their speeches. So one of our speakers is giving their first ever Toastmasters speech. I'm really excited about that. So their timing is 4 to 6 minutes. So when the person reaches the minimum time, and that's 4 minutes, I'll share the green card showing they've reached the minimum. So they should try and make sure they speak until they see the green card. When they are almost towards the end, that's at 5 minutes, I'll show the yellow. And once they've reached the maximum time, that's 6 minutes, I'll show the red card, indicating they've got 30 seconds to wrap up their speech. And then for the rest of our speakers, all their speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. So when the speakers reaches 5 minutes, I'll show the green, 6 minutes, yellow, and at 7 minutes, I'll show red. And then during our impromptu session, that's our table topics, you have to speak for maximum 2 minutes. At the minimum time, 1 minute, I'll show the green, 1 minute 30, yellow, and the maximum time, 2 minutes, I'll show the red. And for our evaluators, it's also a speech. They've got 2 to 3, it's a maximum of 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes, I'll show the green, 2 minutes 30, yellow, and at the maximum time 3, I'll show red, indicating one has 30 seconds to wrap up. My hand will be raised so that I'll be the first video in when you're looking on your screen so you can clearly see the timing guides as and when they change. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Leah, for that brief introduction of your role. Because here at Toastmasters, we believe that if we can't measure it, we can't manage it. We've all seen or heard of that leader who speaks for ages without having been interrupted and told that time is up. We don't want to be such leaders. We train ourselves to speak in the allotted time. With that said, I have 2 roles that are available. I'd like to challenge my visiting Toastmaster, Kabelo Mikhail Ramadubu, to take up that of the R counter. Kabelo, would you humor me and be R counter, please? I'll give you a moment. Otherwise, my other role player is the table topics master, which is Sekabo Malifo. Sekabo Malifo, please make your way to the virtual stage and introduce your role. Thank you so much, Tumelo. I have the pleasure of playing the role of table topics master today. And the purpose of the table topics master is to facilitate table topics where guests and members will have the opportunity to practice their impromptu speaking. I'll introduce a topic. Actually, I have 10 topics that you can choose from. I'll introduce the topic, call on speakers who will volunteer or become my victims and be given an opportunity to give a 2 minute speech on the subject. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Table Topics Master. That's another interesting thing here at Toastmasters. We train ourselves to be able to speak off the cuff or unprepared. I'm looking forward to our guests humoring us and partaking in that segment. We have another role that's available, that of the grammarian. If someone is willing to take up this role, please indicate. I see there are a few visiting Toastmasters who might be able to help us tonight. If you're able, please do take up this role. But in the meantime, Kabelo Ramadubu, are you ready to explain your role as I and am counter? Kabelo, are you there? Kabelo. All right, I'll give him another moment. Our general evaluator tonight is Matsidiso Tamaki. Matsidiso, please make your way to the virtual stage and explain your role.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role as the general evaluator is to evaluate today's meeting proceedings and provide feedback at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matsidiso. So as she has mentioned, our meeting is divided into 3 segments. There'll be the prepared speeches, and then there'll be the table topics, as well as the evaluation segment of the night. So, Kabelo, are you ready to deliver your introduction of the I&R counter role, or should I do it for you? Kabelo, he's on the call though. My apologies to put you on the spot. But we also have a role called the Hug Master. The Hug Master doesn't look like she's on the call. Please check for me. Zoom Master, is Asa Lepele on the call?
I can assist with the counter.
Yes, please. Thank you, Toastmaster Mpokavelo. Mpokavelo, please come onto the virtual stage and explain what the I am counter role entails.
All right, thank you so much. My sincere apologies. I'll show my video in a bit. Okay. The role of the R counter is basically to pay attention to what we call filler words in public speaking. Filler words are usually words that we interject our speeches with whenever we revisit our train of thoughts, or whenever the nerves kick in and you happen to find yourself having to fill that gap with an unnecessary word that ultimately may distort the quality of our speeches. We're looking for words such as are, am, are, repetition of words such as so, and as well as the dragging of words, as well as the repetition of sentences. Someone can say a sentence and they more like putting more emphasis into the sentence 3 times. We're also looking for long pauses and some sounds that some speakers usually use. We have a common sound that we call lip smacking. That is the sound that you hear. I'll come back later on to give my report on how we did with the counter. Thank you, and over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Mpokabelo, for that wonderful introduction of the I&R counter role. Most people aren't aware of the sounds that they make unknowingly, such as lip smacking, going and the like, while in fact they are buying time to be able to say what they want clearly. Kabelo Ramadubu, there are 2 roles available. Please take your pick, grammarian or hack master. And please make your way to the virtual stage to introduce your role. As the grammarian, the word of the day is perseverance. Perseverance means continued effort to do something or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition. So this word of the day was shared by our SAA. Our grammarian will have to take note of this. I also see another visiting Toastmaster. I'd like to challenge her. Keletso Koreke, would you like to be our hack master tonight? Those two roles are still available for those who may want to challenge themselves tonight. To explain the reason why I am pinpointing certain Toastmasters to take up this role is because the opportunity and the privilege exists to Toastmasters to giving speeches and taking roles. As a guest, you can only participate in the table topics or impromptu speaking segment. You get the privileges once you are a member. Indeed, Kabelo, Mikhail, you can take the Hackmaster role. Please make your way to the stage to explain.
Good evening, fellow
Good evening.
Toastmasters and guests. I hope I'm clearly audible and my camera is showing correctly. All right, thank you, Gaborone Toastmasters, for the nomination to take up on the Hackmaster role. I'll just quickly run the script of my role today. Please just give me a second. Technology is challenging me tonight. Let me just open that. All right. So for tonight, the main purpose of the Hackmaster is to encourage effective listening during the meeting by compiling questions and running a quiz session towards the end. So I'm going to be looking out for your attention and the necessary attention that you are paying to all the speakers tonight. At the end, I'll devise a number of questions based on my notes, and may the best person win on this role. Thank you. That is my role for tonight.
Thank you so much, Kabelo, for that introduction. In addition to learning how to speak, we also want to be able to listen when spoken to. That is why that role exists. We have one last role available up for the taking. I guess I'll take it. The grammarian role looks at or judges or polices, if you may, the use of the English language. That is, I'll be looking out for the proper use or commendable use of the English language, as well as the improper use of the English language. And I'll deliver a report at the end of the night. As I said, I'll also be taking note of the use of the word of the day. The word of the day is a concept we use to try and help us improve our vocabulary. The word of the day is in line with the theme tonight, and the word is perseverance, meaning the ability to hold on, technically, to persevere. Well, it's a noun that means to continued effort to do or achieve something despite difficulties, failure, or opposition. How you would use it in a sentence would be, her perseverance in preparing for the contest paid off when she won first place. Through perseverance, the team overcame every challenge and completed the project. Success in Toastmasters often comes through perseverance in speaking, learning, and growing one step at a time. That's just various ways of using it. I encourage you to use it tonight in your speeches, in your table topics, in your delivery of reports, and I'll deliver a report at the end of the night on how well we used that word. Thank you. Let's move right along. Our meeting, as I said, is divided into 3 segments. The first segment being the prepared speeches segment, which we often call the better listening segment. So that's the better speaking segment, my apologies, which is where our members have gone on to prepare a speech in line with the project, in line with their pathways. What are pathways, you might ask? Well, pathways are what I like to call the syllabi, or the content we are here to learn at Toastmasters. There are so many. There's about 6. There's engaging humor, there's presentation mastery, innovative planning. These are what you would choose once you're a member. Within these, there are 5 levels. So in those 5 levels, there are different projects that our member or a member would have to satisfy or reach the objectives of, that is. So tonight, several people have prepared their speeches as part of projects in getting these pathways. So we have 5 speakers on the call tonight, each of which have spent time to prepare this speech. Our president mentioned how September is our level up month, meaning we're encouraging our members to peruse through all of these levels, or at least complete one in the month of September, meaning speaking slots are open and you can book in advance. For every Tuesday this month, we will be having a meeting. Moving right along, our very first speaker tonight her name is Chandada Nkhwalume, will be giving her first ever speech at Toastmasters. That's exactly how it goes. You have to start at least somewhere. And tonight, Chandada will be evaluated by Toastmaster Kagelelo Mokgotsi. Kagelelo Mokgotsi, please make your way to the virtual stage to explain the objectives of Chandada's first ever speech, after which I will introduce her onto the stage. Toastmaster Kagelelo.
Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests, and visitors. Tonight, I have the pleasure to evaluate Chandada Nkhwalume, who is doing her first ever speech, The Icebreaker. The objective of this speech is for her to introduce herself to the group. Thank you, and back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Kagelelo Mokgotsi, for delivering that introduction of Chandada's speech. So Chandada today is giving her first ever speech. And with one moment, please. My apologies. Yes, as I was saying, Chandada is delivering her first ever speech at Toastmasters. Chandada Nkhwalume, from passion to purpose. From passion to purpose, Chandada Nkhwalume.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. If there's one word that threads through my story today, it's perseverance. The quiet decision to keep showing up, to keep refining and keep moving forward. People often ask what marketing means to me. I say it's not just selling, it's creating connections, building trust, and telling stories that matter. Tonight, I'd like to share the story behind my own drive to connect and how perseverance shaped it. I was born and raised in Silibepikwe, Botswana, where curiosity and communication were encouraged at a young age. Early in varsity, I studied marketing, which was the technical foundation of my whole journey in terms of my studies. But the real lesson was this: when communication has purpose, it moves people, and learning to communicate well takes, yes, you guessed it, perseverance. The kind that keeps you practicing until your message lands. Just to add, I really love swimming and baking. Those are the two things that keep me sane. With that foundation, I stepped into the world of work, eager to turn theory into impact, just like everybody else. I began in agency life. That was my real boot camp. From event management to business development assistant to account manager, I learned to juggle timelines, stakeholders, and ideas, trying to bring them to life. It taught me to listen, to lead, and to solve problems under pressure. In 2021, I moved to a bank. Now I became a marketing specialist, where the brief became bigger than just campaigns, as I did when I was in agency life. It was about shaping perception and supporting transformation. Some of the strategies that have shaped me basically was leading the insurance agency launch, championing change initiatives during the bank's transformation. Each project reminded me that results don't come from ideas alone. They come from perseverance, collaborating, testing, adjusting, and trying again. When your plan A literally becomes your plan C. I know it can be a drag sometimes, but growth isn't only professional, it's deeply personal. I've invested in myself with brand strategy, digital, change management. Yet I know that the most powerful strategy is presence, how we speak, how we listen to others, and basically just how you connect. That's why I joined Toastmasters. My goals are simple, really. I've got 3. 1, build confidence, presence in front of my audience. 2, refine storytelling so I don't just inform, but inspire. Lastly, I would want to lead with clarity and empathy. I see Toastmasters as a gym for the voice, a place where, yes, you guessed it, perseverance turns nerves into poise and ideas into impact. We all want to have a positive impact on people. We all want people to listen to us and think, wow, you've made an impact in my life. So, if I had to summarize my journey, it started with education and it grew through experience and it continues here through practice. I was very nervous when I started. I hope I'm warming up to get even more confident. Campaigns may come and go, but the ability to connect through words, through presence, and perseverance is timeless. I really love this word of perseverance, guys, because it's part of what made my journey. Persevering through those hard times. Sometimes you just want to give up, but you know what? You think about the end goal. What is it that you want to achieve? I'm excited to learn with each and every one of you, to keep showing up and to let perseverance turn into progress. At the end of the day, we all want to become masters of our art. And that is exactly what I want to do. So please take my hand and teach me. Thank you very much and have a good night.
Ooh, ooh.
Please unmute yourselves and clap for that very first speech at Toastmasters.
Well done, Chandada.
Yeah.
First speech, why don't I believe it? Aren't you a Toastmaster? Thank you so much, Chandada Nkhwalume. I can't believe that was your first speech, but I look forward to hearing more from you. Moving along, our next speaker tonight is Sahan Wijesekara. Sahan will be evaluated by Sekabo Malefo. Sekabo, please make your way to the virtual stage, after which I will introduce Sahan.
Thank you so much. Good evening again, once again. Am I on mute?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I have the pleasure of evaluating Shahan on what is my inaugural evaluation. In my evaluation, I'll be actually undertaking one of the levels in my project. So Sahan will be holding each other's hands. Sahan is giving a presentation on a speech title. His speech title is Morality Is It Situational? He's undertaking the presentation mastery pathway, and he's doing his third speech. And the idea is for him to improve on his vocal variety and body language. During the completion of this project, he has spent some time learning and practicing the body language, including gestures and other nonverbal communication, with an intent on improving his speech making. I look forward to evaluating you, Sahan. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Sekabo. Sahan Wijesekara. Morality, is it situational? Morality, is it situational? Sahan Wijesekara.
Am I visible here?
Yes, you are.
Sometimes in our lives, we find people who admire or respect morality a lot. But what is morality? In simple, if you do good things or hooked on to meritorious deeds, there you go. You admire morality. However, morality can depend upon the situation or the circumstances. If I say so, do you agree with me? Good evening, Madam Toastmaster and all my fellow Toastmasters. That takes me to my very small age. I was 8 years old at that time. My family was invited for a wedding celebration. But for some reason, my mother couldn't make it. Instead, me and my father had to attend that function. As usual, my mother wanted me to have breakfast before I leave. Oh, come on. Who's going to have breakfast when you're attending a wedding celebration? I managed to trick her and managed to get there empty stomach. The wedding was a very interesting one. All the decorations were all around, flowers with ornaments. And the most iconic thing was the stage, which was placed at a corner of the floor. From one end, the father of the bride took her to the stage. On the other side, father of the groom did the same. And on the platform, they both exchanged their wedding rings. Not only that, there was a priest who prayed and blessed them for hours. The time was somewhere around 11 in the morning. Yeah, my mother was right. I was super hungry at that time. I walked towards my father and said, Dad, I'm so hungry. But he couldn't help me out because he was part of the organizing committee. After all the rituals, the wedded couple got down from the stage and walked towards the head table. Then I looked at the stage and I saw many coins were arranged on the platform. Though I was very small, a dirty plan came into my mind to rob all those coins. Those coins were kept to symbolize the prosperity of their wedded life. I had a cousin who was younger to me. I called him and told, go and sit in between the couple. He did exactly as I said. Then the party people were like, oh, a cute boy. How old are you? That's your mother. Where are you from? All the attention was onto him. I was all alone on this side. I started my mission. Both my pockets were filled with those coins. Then I called him. We both went outside to a boutique and had a rollicking time. I thought I was very smart. No, I was not. On my way back home, something was making a noise in my pocket. The remaining coins. My father realized it and just asked me, where did you get them? I didn't have any answer. I was panicking. I happened to tell him the truth. As we got home on that evening, I realized how embarrassed my parents were because of me. I too got embarrassed because of my own activity, same as my parents did. It was a bitter moment, but was a transition. On that day, I made a promise to myself. Even if I get a chance to rob or steal from someone or something which is not related to me, which is not belongs to me, I will never ever do it in my life. And so far, I am successful in that note. That brings to the answer of my question. Morality makes you a brilliant individual. The good is good, even somebody is watching you or not. Hence, if you look at the perspectives, if you look at the perspectives, morality will not depend upon the situation or the circumstances. If I make my conclusion in that way, my dear fellow Toastmasters, do you agree with me? Are we together? Good evening, and over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Oh, Sahan!
Woo, woo, woo. Please unmute
Well
yourself and
done.
give it a round of applause. It's not easy to keep making your way back to the stage. Well done, Sahan. And this time around with his third speech, you are progressing well, young sir. Moving right along. Our next speaker for this evening is Aldine Dallas. Aldine Dallas is a visiting Toastmaster joining us from South Africa. Aldine will be evaluated by Leah Musunga. I will invite Leah Musunga to the stage to explain the objectives of Aldine's speech. Leah, over to you.
Good evening. Apologies, I'm having issues with my internet right now. I don't know what has happened. So give me a moment, I can say everything. So our guest Toastmaster joining us today is presenting a speech from the project presentation. So it is a level 1 speech, and the title of the project is Introduction to Vocal Variety and Body Language. So basically, I'll be looking out to see how Aldine incorporates the vocal variety and the body language into her speech. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Leah. For those who may have caught some feedback, Leah is evaluating Aldine, who's on the engaging humor level 1 engaging humor pathway level 1. And the speech, much like the last speaker, is introduction to vocal variety and body language. Without further ado, Aldine Dallas, dirty laundry, the F-bomb detergent. Dirty laundry, the F-bomb detergent, Aldine Dallas. Aldine, you're muted. Sorry about that.
Apologies for that, Toastmasters. Just before we start, because this one has an actual slideshow, can I just share and then okay. Just in terms of timing then, if I'm sharing, I'm not sure I'm going to see the timer. Would somebody be able to, I'm not sure how else I can be notified. I don't mind the word ping. So I'll hear ping 3 times for green, orange, red timer. Are you happy with that?
Yes, I can do that.
Say the word ping and I'll know exactly that third, second, first. Wrap it up. Amazing. Thank you. I'm just going to share my screen. If we can practice by saying ping if you can see my presentation.
Ping.
Excellent. I'm going to move this out the way. I'm going to check that it's working. Okay. Dirty laundry? The F-bomb detergent. Tonight I'm going to ask you can raise your emoji hands if any of you are willing to share your dirty laundry. Anybody available to give one little secret that they've got locked up in the cupboard? Any takers? No problem. I'll start with mine. On a saddish note, at the age of 3, I was exposed to some intolerable experiences, and as a result, I just shut down because I was blackmailed not to say anything. Zip it. As a result, if you look at these 5 things, no child should ever have a betrayal of trust, emotional neglect, harsh words of criticism, withheld affection and love, or exposure to chaos and violence. As a result, I zipped it and I took my words and I ate them. I ate and I ate and I ate and I ate. Hiding my secrets, I developed an addiction for food. This created masks. They hid the filth behind of shame, guilt, anger, resentment, bitterness. Imagine what my heart looked like with those stains like grass, ink, blood, red wine. You get the picture. A very stained, dirty, sad heart. I, of course, chose to search for cleansing in all the wrong places, looking for attention, the wrong relationships, drinking, and even going so far as taking drugs. At the age of 38, I fell to my knees. But it was the best thing that ever happened because surrender is the perfect place to get to when you're looking for a change. So at 35 years of age, I needed a handler. Do any of you know Pulp Fiction? Harvey Keitel. He came in and sorted out all the mess. But in my case in rehab, it was my sponsor. What she did is guide me through the steps. There are 12 of them, and it provided me with a ladder of hope to get me out of that deep, dark, dirty hole. I had to air my dirty laundry. I had no question or even choice. And what it involved is a step work guide that I had to document everything. Yes, all of you gents will smile now when you think of ladies who are so good at keeping a record of every single wrong anybody has ever done to us and the multiple wrongs per person. That's what step 4 is in the 12-step program. I won the prize. I had 110 people I resented with multiple resentments per person. They'd never seen such a deeply dark, dirty person because resentments keep you dirty. However, an unimaginable detergent was on offer. It is a deep secret, which many of you are going to learn from tonight. And I hope you're going to take note and start using this. Can anyone guess what the F-bomb detergent is? Because trust me, when you're going through the cleaning process, there might be that F-bomb expletive, but through perseverance, I will reveal to you what my F-bomb and the 12-step program F-bomb detergent is. It is forgiveness. And what forgiveness does is it breaks those chains and brings freedom. Surely that's something everybody wants. So the cleaning steps of step 4 and 5, you list the people, you list the resentments, and you become willing to forgive, keeping your side of the street clean, but not expecting them to forgive you in response. Think of Vanish now, where you come and you spray on Vanish to those resentments. You then make a list of the people that you actually owe amends to. Yes, that you have to say, I'm sorry, the humility. It is a gift because the I'm sorry is a character transformation from the dark and dirty into the light and freshly clean. It's actually an anti-aging F-bomb Botox because bitterness is extremely aging, but forgiveness makes you light and bright, looking 10 years younger than you could ever hope to wish to look. And that, my friends, is how I started from being a little girl who was so sad, full of the shame and dirt of guilt and resentment, and turned out to be a woman who at 55 absolutely thrives on this little toolbox that was presented to me, where the minute somebody wrongs me, I'm able to look at what they've done, take a note, and decide I'm going to forgive. And I hope that each and every one of you will take a little note out of my book and persevere to do the same.
Please unmute and give Aldine a wonderful round of applause.
Wow, Aldine!
Go, Aldine!
About the diversity that is at Toastmasters. Another presentation with flair. Thank you, Aldine, for visiting our club. Please, okay, yes. We gave Aldine her round of applause. Wow, wow, wow. We absolutely love having you here at Gaborone Toastmasters. And not to take away from your speech, but let's move right along. Yes, our next speaker is our VPM, Vice President of Membership, Kagalelo Mokgotsi, who will be evaluated by Mpokabelo. Mpokabelo, please make your way to the stage to explain what Kagalelo's speech entails.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Tumelo. I have the pleasure of evaluating Kagelelo for her speech titled Long Game. Under the path presentation mastery, understanding your communication style. The objectives of her speech is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style, as well as for the member to share the impact that that primary style has on them and other people. Thank you, and over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Of speakers, at which we should now ask our timekeeper for the timekeeper's report. But before she takes the stage, is our poll for the best effort speaker ready? Zoom Master, is the poll ready?
Yes, the polls are ready.
Okay, so please give your timekeeper's report and the poll should be launched anytime now. Thank you. Over to you, timekeeper. The poll is running. Please vote for your best effort speaker. Timer, the floor is yours.
Okay, sorry. Was on it.
Sorry. Hi, Leah, are you ready?
Apologies for that. I was struggling with my internet earlier. So in terms of the timing, our first speaker, Chandada, took 5 minutes, 18 seconds. Sahan took 5 minutes, 57 seconds. Aldine, 6 minutes, 34. Kahalelo took 6 minutes, and Mfundo took 5 minutes, 37. So they were all within the required speaking time. Thank you. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Madam Timekeeper. As I said, the poll for the best effort speaker is running. Please vote for your best effort speaker tonight. We're at 80%, so there are some of you who haven't voted yet. Just throw in that vote. If you're on your phone or any other device and you can't see, try the more button. The poll should be up there. So please vote. We try to encourage our speakers with a little token of appreciation in the form of a certificate when they've done well. And we do so through the democracy of voting. So vote for your favorite speaker. Moving along, I'd like to invite our table topics master, which is Sakabo Malefo, to lead our table topics segment of the night. Guests, please note you are free to participate, challenge yourself. Thank you. Over to you, Sakabo.
Thank you so much, Tumelo. I have 10 topics, but I'll only be taking 5 speakers unless we do have a little bit more time. So at this moment, I'm just going to take volunteers as a start, particularly our guests. This is your opportunity to get a bit of a taste of the Toastmasters way by giving a quick 1 to 2 minute speech. So any volunteers from the crowd? Zoom Master, our guests labeled. I'm quite new to the club, so I might end up picking a fellow Toastmaster thinking it's a guest.
Only one is labeled guests, but I guess that gives you free game.
All right, I'll start with the guest. I just saw her now. Komutso. Hi, Komutso. Perfect.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Pick a number from 1 to 10. Any number.
Number 3.
All right, you are lucky number 3. So, do you believe talent or perseverance matters more in achieving success, and why? Do you believe talent or perseverance matters more in achieving success, and why?
talent is a good is a good thing to have, but without perseverance it is not worth a lot. I would say a combination of both, but I would say they are also not mutually exclusive. So a person with perseverance can achieve the goal, and a person with talent may achieve the goal as well. But a person with a combination of the two is more likely to achieve any goal that they are given to, or any task that they are given. I would say the easier one that would be important for a person or anybody to have is perseverance. Because with perseverance, we have seen people who are less talented who have managed to achieve many tasks even better than talented people. That's my contribution.
Thank you so much, Komuso. I think this is your third table topics. When are you joining? When are you becoming a Toastmaster?
It's just a matter of time.
It's just a matter of time. All right, all right. Can I have another volunteer before I start electing victims? Let's get ahead of this one. I'm going to go in alphabetical order. So Abdul Mutwasili. Can you hear me, Abdul? Hello? Okay. Oh,
Yes, I
yes.
can hear you. Kindly excuse me for
Are
me
you
for today.
ready? Sorry, I didn't get that.
Kindly excuse me for.
Okay, okay, okay. I won't put you on the spot. Ah, okay. Oh, are you ready?
Excuse me only for today.
I should excuse.
Only for today, yes.
That's fine. No worries, no worries. Any volunteers? A Toastmaster would be great just to give our guests a little bit of a nudge. Just to show them that
I'd
there's
like
no
to
problem.
volunteer someone.
Perfect. Oh, okay, okay, perfect.
She's going to hate me, Bashati, please.
Bashati. Bashati Matape.
Is it okay to do it in PJs? Oh Lord.
No judgment here. None whatsoever. There's a reason why my camera is so strategically placed.
My leader has spoken. Number 2, let's get it over and done with.
All right. Question number 2. Share a time when patience and persistence brought you success.
Share a time where patience and persistence
brought you success.
Brought me success.
Correct.
Wondering why would you be speaking about patience? For the past days, months, weeks, the keyword that has been speaking to my spirit is be calm, be patient. Be calm, be patient. And literally, I'm a very fast person. So because I'm a fast person, I want things to be done very quickly. Pain of thoughts of God. However, the Spirit has been dropping calmness and patience in me. And I must say, I have learned the power of patience. I have seen how patience gives the results that one desires. It has happened when I was applying for a job. First, I motivated. I made the loudest noise. I put myself in front about it. However, when I became patient with myself and be patient with the process, interview came, interview happened, and the job was scored. So, ladies and gentlemen, be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process. You will be successful. Back to you, table topics master.
Woo! Woo! I understand why
Wow,
Tumelo
Bashati.
is a wonderful speech. That was a very wonderful go at it. I see why Tumelo picked you out. Do we have anybody who's now inspired after seeing how Bashati did so well?
Yes, we have a hand from Aldine.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Aldine, pick a number 1 to 10. 2 and 3 are already taken.
Number 7, please.
Number 7, lucky number 7. Perseverance sometimes means doing boring things repeatedly. What's the silliest or funny? Oh, sorry. What's the most boring thing you've had to do repeatedly, but you did anyway in order to persevere? Perseverance sometimes means doing boring things repeatedly. What is the most boring thing you've had to do that you've had to persevere through to achieve a goal?
How many of you have had to wait? Waiting, waiting, waiting. Oh, so boring. I have been waiting for 25 years for a partner, not just a partner, for a husband. And oh my goodness, in the waiting, I have managed to have a whole lot of incredible things happen because I'm a project manager by my career standards. I can go in and I can execute and I can bring things that aren't always going to be so good for me. But if I'd sit back and I breathe, and sure, back in the day, we didn't have WhatsApp, social media, nothing. We had Nokia 3310 that just had Snake 2 and covers that changed color of the device. That's it. No internet even. So you must know how boring the waiting was. But the refinement of my character, when I'm not taking my will, but I'm sitting back and trusting my maker's will. Highball, the growth, I can't tell you, because when I try and run ahead, the pain is too much. I cannot ever put my hand on the stove again, trying too hard. I sit back, I relax, and I'm happy with the boredom. Because you know what? Sometimes in the talking and the doing, I can't listen. But when I'm quiet, not so boring, because the shepherd's voice can speak quite loud when there's no noise here. That's what I've done repeatedly. That's been boring.
Wow,
Well done,
Aldine.
Aldine.
You're a
Wow.
natural.
She really is. That was such a profound speech. And as somebody who's still single and looking at 30, I feel like I've been waiting for a long time myself. But your speech really has inspired me to be patient and let the Lord do his work.
Amen.
Can I take another volunteer? Or does Tumelo have to come out and pick you out ole bata one by one?
I have someone. She's an
Yes,
old
please.
member. Bagele, please. Humas.
Bagele Chabalala. Chabalala. Am I getting that correctly, Bagele? Chabalala.
Correct.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Please pick a number from 1 to 10. 7, 2, and 3 have been taken.
Let's go for 6.
All right. If running an actual marathon, what would you take to keep you going? Snacks or music, or would you prefer to have someone cheering you on? So you're running a marathon and you need something to keep you going. What would it be? Snacks, music, or someone cheering you on?
Running a marathon. Oh, what a question. Because in real life, I'm a marathon runner. So I guess I'm going to just say what I really do when I'm running my marathons, which is music, 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 because it keeps me focused. It keeps me away from wild thoughts. It will be gospel music. It gives me hope. It keeps me going. So any day, any time of the day when I'm doing a marathon, I'll pick music because it'll, like I said, keep me company. It will just calm me down and make me not think too much of the journey ahead, the obstacles that I'm gonna encounter or pass through. It will just keep me, as I said before, focused. Yeah, thank you.
We're still on mute. Yay! Done, Magele. Well done. That was
Yay!
wonderful. That was wonderful and very oddly serendipitous that you picked that question and it's actually applicable to your life. Who's gonna be our final speaker? I don't see Leah on the line, Tumelo. How am I doing on time?
Oh, yes, I was actually going to interject. I'm
Yeah.
here. Yes, yes. I think that should have been our last one. So we move on to the next.
All right, no problem, no problem. I just got a bit excited there. All right, thank you so much for the opportunity. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Sakaba, for that wonderful segment. Like we said, guests are able to participate in that segment. Challenge yourself to a 1 to 2 minute speech. You'll realize that 2 minutes is actually a very long time. But with that, let's move along to the next role player. Our next segment is the Hulkmaster segment. So I'd like to invite our Hulkmaster, Mikhail Dubu, to join us and deliver that segment. Over to you, Kabelo.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and visiting Toastmasters. I hope I'm audible again. I'm getting connectivity notifications. Please just confirm if I'm audible.
You're audible, but we can't see you.
Let's try and fix that. My video should be good right about now. How does it look?
We still can't see you, but you can continue.
Okay. Sorry about that. Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters. Now is one of the most exciting segments of the Toastmasters session, where I'm going to be checking if you were persevering in your listening skills. I'll take about 6 questions to challenge our listening comprehension skills, and hopefully there should be a prize at the end of the engagement. I will start with our first speaker, Chandada. Can I get from the audience, out of the 3 goals that Chandada listed, can I get 2 that she named or mentioned as having been on her plate? What 3 goals did Chandada identify with. Any takers? I will respond by the show of hands.
Please unmute
Any
and
takers?
participate.
Is that a
Komuto,
difficult
go ahead.
question? Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was leaving the station from time to time, unfortunately. I could not hear everything today.
Okay. Okay, that was a tough one. I heard tell stories better. I'm not sure. Please repeat the question.
Yes, so I'll repeat the question once more. During her career, Chandada identified about 3 goals that she set when joining Toastmasters. I just need maybe 1 out of the 3. Any takers? Okay, if none, I can just name them. It was to build confidence. So you're in part, you're right. Madam past president. And then she also had an objective to refine her storytelling. And lastly, to read with clarity and empathy. All right, I'll move to a much easier question. Sahan was a certain age when he went to an event where he learned morality. Can I get a guess of that age?
9.
Okay, correct. I think I noted a different one.
Please unmute and participate.
8.
Who said 8? That is correct.
Yay!
All right. Right, and then from Aldine, Dirty Laundry, the F-bomb. Can I get from the audience what was the detergent to the F-bomb?
Oh, wow. Wait.
Hint, it starts with an
Vanish.
F.
Forgiveness.
Forgiveness.
Correct. That is forgiveness. Thank you, Leah. Bonus question. Can I get step 4 in the 12-step process that is involved in Aldine's journey? What is step 4 out of the 12-step process? I'll give a hint. I have a recollection of a small skull on the presentation that was presented when this was shared. Do we have any takers for that? Okay. This is documenting or keeping a record of your wrongs. I was quite perplexed at that. Can I now move on to Kakelelo's speech? Kakelelo articulated that building confidence is like. What did she liken building confidence to?
Exercising a muscle.
Awesome. It's like building muscles. Then from table topics, let me just take the last one. Aldine said she waited a number of years waiting for a partner.
35.
This should be quite an easy one. Thank you, Sakava. That is correct.
I swear, I normally do better than
you.
this today.
Thank you, Madam, Madam Toastmaster. This was quite a persevering experience. Back to you.
Thank you so much for our Hackmaster segment. Like I kept saying, we're all free to participate in that segment to display how well we were listening throughout the program. But I think that brings me to the okay, Zoom Master, please post the poll for best table topic before we move right along. But this brings me to the end of my part in the program where I'll be handing over to our general evaluator. Our general evaluator, as introduced earlier, is Matsidiso Tamaki. She will be conducting the evaluation segment of the night. Like I said, 3 segments. We're at the third, which is the evaluations or the better listening. Now we get feedback. Hence why the segment is important. And please vote for your best table topic. The poll is running. We're at 22%. It will continue while Matsidiso starts her segment. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I will be facilitating the better listening session, which is the last session of today's meeting. As we normally say in Toastmasters, feedback is the breakfast of champions. This is where our speakers will get constructive feedback on their speeches in order to achieve excellence. So evaluations are a cornerstone of how we grow here in Toastmasters. With that being said, I will call upon our first evaluator, Kagelelo Mogotsi, who was evaluating Chandada Nkhwalume. Over to you, Kagelelo Mogotsi.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests and visitors, greetings once again. Tonight I had the privilege to evaluate Chandada Nkhwalume as she delivered her icebreaker speech. I should congratulate you, Chandada, on beginning with your first icebreaker speech, which I feel like you winged it like a natural. My evaluation will be delivered in 3 parts. 3 things that you did well, 2 things that you might want to work on, 1 thing that you should challenge yourself with. You excelled with, first thing first, I was very impressed that you gave your speech standing up. So well done on that. You did a very good job with introducing yourself, your hobbies, your background. I mean, we all learned that you love baking. We also learned that you're a genius marketing. You are a marketing genius who took her time to improve herself with various qualifications. I mean, I felt like I've known you for long after your speech. You also delivered a clear and structured speech that was easy to follow through. I loved it. I especially loved it when you highlighted the importance of effective communication. You said that effective communication moves people and words connect people. 2 things that you might want to improve on. You had some unintentional body language, which could be distracting. So I would advise that you relax and be intentional with your body language. You should also add some vocal variety to your speeches just to add some color to it. One thing that you should challenge yourself with is to speak slowly. You delivered your speech quickly. You were fast paced, which could seem like you want to get along with the speech and get off the stage. But otherwise, congratulations on delivering your first ever speech. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Kagelelo, for that wonderful evaluation report. Our next evaluator is Sekabo Malefo, who had the pleasure of evaluating Sahan. Over to you, Sekgabo.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I had the privilege of evaluating Sahan Wijesekara on my first evaluation. Yay, me. His speech was Morality Is It Situational? I'm going to focus my attention on what you excelled at, Shahan. You excelled at using intentional gestures. Particularly, you looked up when speaking about your father, showing that you were a young boy at the time. You touched your belly to indicate hunger, and you were picking up the coins. You used a cold open that immediately piqued our interest and brought us into the speech, and that was a very good use of a cold open. You were very comfortable on the stage. You've always been comfortable on the stage. It's like it's your home. You're warm and endearing, and when you smile and use eye contact, oh, sorry. Oh, when you smile and use eye contact, we're able to come into your story and feel more welcomed. Your speech was well organized with an introduction, a body, and a conclusion. You used a story, and here at Toastmasters, I've come to learn that we love storytelling. And you varied your volume because you told me that you were looking to improve on your vocal variety. Now I'm going to move on to two things that you should work on, and one thing to challenge yourself: the use of filler words and crutches. Near the end there, you started to use some arms and some long unintentional pauses that appeared like you were trying to sort of find the next part of your speech. And also, I'd like to say that you should use the entirety of your Zoom surroundings. So moving to right and left is also an important thing to do. I know it can be a challenge because you're scared of moving out of the frame, but I guess that you can do that better when you're doing a physical speech. And to challenge yourself on the use of vocal variety, you did vary your volume, you whispered, but you didn't vary your pitch, your speed, and your tone. So next time, try to use more of the speeding up and slowing down when required, and your tonality. Thank you so much, Sahan, for allowing me to evaluate you for the very first time. I hope that I've given you some very insightful points that will help you on your journey. And thank you for helping me on mine.
Thank you, Sekgabo Malefo. Next up, we have Leah Musunga, who was evaluating Aldine Dallas. Over to you, Leah Musunga.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. I had the privilege of evaluating Aldine this evening with the F-bomb detergent. So I'll share my evaluation in terms of what was done well, in terms of what you were effective at, and then maybe share one or two points that you may want to work on, Aldine. Aldine, I thought you were very effective by giving us a story. We always say in Toastmasters, we love a story, and the story that you weaved for us from the beginning about the journey that you took really engaged us and captivated us, especially just from the get-go with the speech title, because it made me wonder, what is the F-bomb? And it's true, like you said, we would normally think of an explicit word, but then you went on to tell us it was none other than forgiveness. So it was actually a nice twist of making us think one way, but then you just bring us to another direction in terms of what you're speaking about. So I thought it was a great use of redirecting our thoughts in terms of what you will end up actually speaking on. This particular speech, you had to show your vocal variation and the use of your body language. And I thought you were effective, especially at using your hands gestures, incorporating them in your speeches, with many different things that you spoke about when you talked about zip them, the mask, counting off the blood, like you used your hands clearly to show us that you were counting off. So I thought you were really, really effective in showing those things to ensure that it aided you in your speech as you were presenting. And I liked also the usage of some of the way you used some of the words. Like at the end, you told us about this toolbox. I think that was a great way of just bringing everything together, thinking about the toolbox that you can use for yourself is forgiveness as a way of bringing the call to order to us and something that we can take away from your speech. I thought that was also used actually quite effective. So in terms of what I picked up that you may want to work on to elevate your speech the next time when you are presenting, obviously you gave your speech in a sitting position. And whenever we are using our body language, our gestures, and those kinds of things, it always comes out much more when you're actually giving it in a standing position. That's how I'll challenge you next time to present in a standing position so that your gestures can be much more clearer, much more sharper as you present, because it's very clear to me that you are an experienced speaker. And I'm sure when you give your speech in a standing position, it gives you that opportunity to even move and use your stage more, and therefore even the actions that you're using end up being more effective. Then another thing I would also then challenge you with is in terms of your vocal variation. I like the fact that, I mean, you did sort of at some points maybe just lower down your voice, but I'd also challenge you in terms of just using pauses as a way of incorporating that in your speech. Because I know there was a time I think you asked a question, then you quickly moved on, but then those are sometimes opportunities to just wait a little bit, and when you share certain other aspects of your speech, using pauses a little bit more effective as a way to help you as you are presenting your speech. Other than that, loved the use of the story, loved how you integrated different uses of words to redivert us from what we were thinking. And it's very clear that you understand the basics of writing a speech. Just challenge you to give your speech next time in a standing position. Other than that, good luck in your future speeches. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Miss Leah, for that wonderful evaluation feedback. Next up, I would like to call to the virtual stage Ms. Mpho Kabelo, who was evaluating Speaker Kagelelo Mogotsi. Over to you, Mpho Kabelo.
Thank you so much, Madam General Evaluator. I hope I am audible. Am I audible?
I think your network is breaking.
Am I audible?
Yes, now you are audible.
Okay, let me.
Please go ahead. Hello, Mpho. Miss Leah, can you kindly check? Miss Kabelo?
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible now. Miss Leah?
It seems like her network is not okay. Maybe she'll come back. Maybe we can move on to the next evaluator.
Okay. I had the privilege of evaluating Mr. Mfundo Deli Hlazo. First, I would like to congratulate Mr. Mfundo Deli Hlazo for taking up the challenge to speak in our meeting today. I will give my evaluation in the classic Toastmaster way, which is 3 things that he excelled at, what they may want to work on, and what they need to challenge themselves on. Firstly, I loved that he started his speech with a question that was engaging to us as his audience, and also it gave us a moment to also reflect on our own reasons for joining Toastmasters. He also used the word of the day when he said, we need perseverance in influencing those that we lead. He also appeared very comfortable with the audience, and his speech was also within the allocated time of 5 to 7 minutes. He spoke for 5 minutes. And I was also able to get that he's a transformational leader who brings out the best in the people that he leads. And what they may want to work on is the vocal varieties. I noted that Mr. Mfundo, he used the same tone throughout the speech right to the end. You might want to make variants to your volume and your tone when you are speaking. You may want to challenge yourself in your next speech. You may want to challenge yourself by using the stage more. Even though you gave your speech while you were standing, you stood in one position throughout until the end of your presentation. So next time, try utilizing the stage more by moving around. Thank you. Ms. Leah, can you kindly check if Ms. Kabelo is back on call so that we may get his evaluation report for Ms. Kagelolo?
Yes,
Yes, she's on the call.
Madam General Evaluator. Am I audible?
Yes, you
There
are
were two
audible
people
now.
speaking. It was me and Leah. Am I audible?
Yes, you are
Thank
audible
you so
now.
much. Let me do my evaluation without my video on. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, good evening once again. I had the pleasure of evaluating Kagelelo. Kagelelo, I'm going to give your evaluation in two parts in terms of what you excel on and what I think you should work on. You want me to make fun of me. That was Kagelolo's introduction. Very captivating. While I was asking myself, what is next? Kagelolo, you brought in a conversation between you and your boss, persuading your boss to join Toastmasters. I was so glued. I enjoyed the interaction you had with your boss. I loved your voice variations. What I also liked is I loved listening to you. I saw you putting cherry on top by changing your voice to
Ms. Leah, it looks like we may have lost Ms. Kabelo.
Yes, yes, she's no longer on the call. I
Okay.
think we can just proceed.
Okay. Moving right along, I would like to call on the role players to give us the reports on how we fared with the time and on stage.
Okay, let me quickly catch up. My apologies.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Please proceed.
The internet has been doing so well until my time came to evaluate. I don't know. Okay, let me proceed. I also liked the way you demonstrated how you celebrated your boss after she has said.
Ms. Kabelo, we've lost you again. Miss Kabelo? Miss Kabelo, you are not audible.
So the initiative. Am I breaking?
Yes, you are breaking up.
But I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
You are clearer now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Can I
The
continue with
internet
the
at
evaluation?
Mokokwana is giving you trouble.
All right.
I think in the
Thank
interest
you
of
so
time,
much. I said I'd like that to also give us the traits of an initiative, the traits of initiative communicator. There was a country style. Yeah, I can't.
thank you for that attempt, Ms.
Okay, what did you
Kabelo.
say?
Maybe
in the interest of time.
Yes, in the interest of time, I think maybe you can record your evaluation report and send
Am
it
I
on
audible?
the WhatsApp group. Yes. Moving right along, we are going to be calling the role players to give us the timekeepers report, the counter report, and the grammarians report. At this point, I would like to invite the grammarian to the virtual stage to give us the report.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Tonight, as grammarian, I got to police the English language as well as look out for the use of the word of the day. I'd like to commend you all for attempting to use the word of the day, but special shout outs go to Chandada, who used the word 9 times, Aldine, who used it twice, Kahelolo, who used it once, Mfundo once, Sakabo, who used it 5 times, and Komoto, who used it twice. As for the English language, I'd like to just bestow this honor on Chandada, who delivered exceptional use of the English language, as well as Kahelelo, who went on to even give statements I thought worth mentioning, such as jaggering stairs, as in stairs that could pierce through skin. That's an extremely descriptive way of explaining the stairs, as well as how she likened the analogies she used, where she likened it to being slow and steady like a tortoise, clear and confident like a river. Those were playful turns on the English language. However, I also did note something that is not exactly incorrect, but is not advisable to do. I heard Sahan use the word gonna. Gonna is a slang word that means going to. We are here to practice proper use of the English language. So words like gonna and wanna, we would like to stay clear of. Otherwise, I'd like to commend you all for the proper use of the English language regardless. Thank you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Tumelo, for the beautiful grammarian report. Next up on stage, I would like to call the counter.
Our counter was Mpokabelo. I don't know if she'll be able.
The network at Mokukwana is giving her trouble. So
Yeah.
I think I can move on to the timekeepers report.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I'll read the report.
Ms. Kabelo?
Okay,
You
am
are
I
not
audible? Okay, let me quickly give my counter role. The Master Kabelo had.
Ms. Kabelo, you are not audible. Are you able to write that on the chat? Moving right along, I will invite the timekeeper to the stage to give us the timekeeper's report. Timekeeper, Ms. Leah.
All right. So in terms of the timing for our evaluators, our first evaluator took Kala Khalelo took 3 minutes, then Sakabo 2 minutes 33. Myself, I took 3 minutes 30 seconds. And Matidiso took 2 minutes. Our grammarian took 1 minute 45 seconds. That's Tumelo. And then our table topic speaker, Komuto, took 1 minute 15, Bashati 1 minute 30, Aldine 1 minute 46, and Bageli 1 minute 7 seconds. Thank you, and back to you.
Okay. Thank you to all the role players and all the evaluators. At this point, I will give the overall view of the meeting. First and foremost, I liked the fact that the meeting started on time. Exactly at 6 p.m. we started the meeting. And also the transitions between the segments was very smooth. Well done to you, Toastmaster of the day, for facilitating such a successful, productive meeting. And to all the role players, we thank you. The evaluators also did a great job in giving feedback to our speakers, not only feedback, but constructive feedback. The word of the day was used by almost all the speakers, and also there was great use of the English language. Remember, feedback is the backbone of Toastmasters. It's how we grow step by step into being more effective communicators and leaders. So thank you all for contributing to a supportive and productive session. My parting shot will be a quote by Henry Ford, which reads, "Coming together is a beginning, and keeping together is a process, and working together is success." Thank you. I would hand over to you, Ms. Leah, to give us the voting results. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Madam General Evaluator. Let me just share our results for the voting that was done this evening. So we voted for the best effort table topic speaker and also for the best effort speaker. So for table topics, based on your votes, the person who was voted the best was Aldine. Well done. We'll share the certificate with you. And then for our best effort speaker from our speakers today was none other than Mufundo. Well done, well done. Well done to you. And thank you so much for visiting us. Oh, sorry, I actually forgot. I need to continue. So normally we always say thank you to all the guest Toastmasters who come and visit us at our meeting. I actually did the certificates are there. So that would be the next one. So Mfundo, who was a speaker, and Aldine also serving the role of speaker. We had Kabelo serving the role of Hackmaster, and Mpo, who was an evaluator and also the accounter. So thank you so much for coming to assist us in our meeting today. We'll share the certificates with you all. I can see it is 8 o'clock. We want to say thank you so much to all the people who joined us today for our meeting. As stated at the beginning, this month we're going to be having meetings on a weekly basis. So we're having another meeting next week, Tuesday. But next week, Tuesday, the meeting will be in person at Lifeline Medical Clinic. So if you happen to be in Gaborone, we'll be there at 6 p.m. sharp. We get started. So if you want to practice your speeches in person, or you are a guest and you want to see us in an in-person environment, you are welcome to join us. All our meetings are free to attend, the same way like online it's free. In person, you can also join us. So next week, Tuesday, we're in person at Lifeline Medical Clinic, just about 200 meters from Bula Spa. And for our club members, just a reminder that renewal season is on. If you want to continue to work on your public speaking, Note that your renewal has to be paid by the end of September. But if you want to help our club to achieve the treasurer reward, that would be our club earning rewards from the district. I think it's 300 rands that we earn. Then if you could renew by the 20th of September, they have a reward challenge that is on 20 by 20. Treasurer Excellence. So that's 20 members being renewed by 20th of September. Then our club would qualify for that. As stated the previous time, we have already received other rewards. We have received a reward for submitting our club success plan. That's basically just showing how we will succeed as a club, submitting that on time, and also ensuring that your club officers, the president, myself, the VPE, all the club officers, the 7 of us, we attended training. So we made sure that was done. So we got the 7 out of 7 reward. And like I stated, we just want to make sure that as a club, we work together, because most of these things have to be done together as a team. It can't be done by ourselves, but where us as your club officers are able to do anything, we'll make sure that we definitely do that to ensure that our club does succeed. So once again, to remind you, renewals are on. Our club is self-pay enabled, so you can just log on to the Toastmasters website and renew. With that being said, maybe I can just request if we can just switch on our cameras so we can just take a picture, then we'll close the meeting. If you are a guest and you have any questions, we'll remain on the call for a few more minutes so you can ask questions then. So let me just take a picture for our YouTube thumbnail. Let me just see. All right, I can see some cameras going on. There we go, there we go. Still some are going on. Okay, I can see some. All right, let me take a picture. So all our recordings, you'll find them on our YouTube page. We'll share the link once this one is up tomorrow. Okay, I'm taking the picture now.
Chikini.
All right, thank you very much for that. And I'll hand over to our SAA to officially adjourn our meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Leah. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So if there are any visitors, if you have any questions, we are free